I was so nervous. I had heard stories about kids my age peeing in their pants and puking over the fear of public speaking. And I stood there in front of my third grade class. They were sitting there bored out of their mind from the last speaker, staring at the clock, hoping the bell would ring. And trust me, I felt the same way. The teacher had assigned this lame topic, and I had to give this speech. And it felt like forever. You know, Einstein was asked to describe the theory of relativity, and he said, it's when spending an hour with a beautiful woman can seem like a minute, and sitting on top of a hot stove for a minute can feel like an hour. Well, I'll tell you what, this was like a hot stove to me. One thing I learned, I did get through the speech as fast as I could, ramble through it, but one thing I learned was that if I've got to get up there and speak in front of people, I want to make sure it's interesting, something that they want to hear. They want to hear about me. By the end of the third grade, my parents got divorced. I don't think it had any relation to do with my lack of public speaking. And as time went on, through the years, I'd done a couple of speeches, you know, forced, of course, in school, trying to make me a better speaker. But by the time I was 16, my dad was getting remarried, and he chose me to be the best man.
Oh, wow.
Well, everybody knows what the best man has to do. The toast. So I took on the duty and prepared my toast, had it written, and I can remember the DJ telling me, look, whatever you do, make sure at the end you raise your glass, because otherwise they'll stare at you forever. I was, okay, well, maybe I can just like run up, like holding the Olympic torch, and maybe they'll just drink and I don't have to speak. Forget the speaking part. It didn't work that way. So the DJ checked the mic, handed it to me, and of course he makes this big announcement. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the best man, son of the groom, is going to make the toast. That's great, you know, now they're really looking at me. I know the speaker's supposed to be the center of attraction, nothing should take away from it, but trust me, I would welcome a diversion, you know, a fire, a gunshot, grandma standing on the table doing the Irish jig, something. It didn't happen that way. So I grabbed the microphone and started my toast, chords shaking, and I'll tell you what, sound comes from around me as I spoke into the microphone, as my voice came across the sound system. It totally freaked me out. So after I recovered from that, finished reading my notes, boom, pretty much left the stage, you know, unscathed, but still not real thrilled about public speaking. About 10 years later, it was my turn to get married, and fortunately, the groom doesn't have to make a speech. I'm not real happy about that. Really, all I had to worry about was two things: smiling for pictures, because the photographer was always around, and what else? Hey, Bob. Hey. Does anybody know? Kissing.
Yes.
Whenever someone wants the bride and groom to kiss, they clank the glass. So that was lucky for me. Early in my marriage, my wife taught me my first Toastmaster lesson. I never even realized it at the time, but basically we were leaving one day, we're both heading out, and each going to a different store or place, and we had returned exactly the same time. So she gets out of the car, has a bag in hand, and I get out myself and say, oh, what'd you get? She says, you're never gonna kiss. I said, remember the pink lipstick that I had in my purse? Well, the pink one you did, the passion pink? I found it just today when I got the keys to the car. Okay. I said, well, anyway, I put the key in ignition, and I started up, and you know what's on the radio? Our favorite song. Unchained Melody? Yeah, the one from the wedding. I said, oh, okay, well, what'd you get? And so she was just pulling the bag away from me, the mystery. And so then I kept going to Target, and I hit a red light, and do you realize how many red lights there are and how much time we spend at red lights? No, I haven't thought about it, but, and so anyway, so I made it to Target, and they had Halloween stuff up, okay? And so, do you realize that it's earlier and earlier? I mean, it's only August and Halloween stuff is already out. Yeah, true. What did you end up getting? Still pulling the bag away? No, so anyway, I found what I was looking for. Okay, I found it, and it was buy one, get one free. Wow, cool. So I got two. And she reaches in and pulls out 2 loaves of bread. Pretty unexciting. And she says to me, so what did you do? I drove to the store and got a gallon of milk. Now, if you can tell here, there's a little bit difference in how long these stories are. So when I end up getting table topics, I'm doing the male version, you know, the like short, sweet, to the point. And it doesn't really serve me too well because at about 45 seconds I started, you know, kind of and Mr. Accumulator is squeaking the horn. It sounds like a flock of geese going by. But so I really didn't realize it at the time, but I think I need to get into some more details. I learned about this through ISOP, Toastmasters, and had come here late last year. And once I finally figured out I can get the luxury of having someone explain what was going on, I actually came in and these people are doing things and I'm like, how does everybody know what to do? There's like this agenda printed and it was just really amazing. It was total magic, you know. I said, they must be meeting some other time before they come in here, but I finally learned what was going on. But when I did come, I really enjoyed everybody and enjoyed the different speakers. It really inspired me. And while I was nervous getting up here today, not as nervous as I was in my 3rd grade class, I did feel a lot more comfortable even for the few months that I've been here. And I don't know if it's because you're all trained listeners, because I know listening is one of the things we learn here. Or maybe my speech was a little interesting, but I do aspire to be like many of you and hope to build my speaking career. Thank you.